if you ever considered Sylvester Stallone to be a tough guy in the past, you're now both literally and figuratively right, because the actor now is starring as mob boss character Dwight the General Manfredi in the Paramount Plus original series called Tulsa King, which has a fall 2022 release. It may be Mr. Stallone's first lead in a television series, but obviously his acting chops were cut out long ago in iconic movies that included the Rocky series, the Rambo series, the Expendables, and so many more. So with the upcoming new Paramount Plus series on tap, I thought it'd be a great time for us to check out the current Instagram content of Sylvester Stallone so that we could see the good, the bad, and the ugly of his official Instagram account. And stick around until the end so you can learn the takeaway that mere mortals like you can use to benefit your business's bottom line on the Instagram platform. I think it's fun to deconstruct famous people's marketing so that other entrepreneurs can grow their accounts too. And in case this is your first time on my channel, I'm Stacey Storino, and I teach about creating content that converts content consumers into actual customers. I've got 8 years of experience coaching thousands of students across the world under my belt. So I've got tons of experience deconstructing many Instagram accounts. Okay, so here's the good. So here's Sylvester Stallone's official Instagram account. I love the fact that there's an entrepreneurial link in bio. I'm just going to discuss why I have an issue with where it takes you when we get to the section of this review called The Ugly. Stay tuned because this will help keep you from making the same mistake that Mr. Stallone's crew made, in my opinion. But I love how he's using highlights on his account, and they're branded and slick, and some are flat out entrepreneurial in nature too, like you could visit the Sly Shop where he's currently selling merch, which totally makes sense. I love it, and you should follow suit if you're not already. Okay, next, I love that Mr. Stallone has a great mix of content on his Instagram account. He's got carousels and Instagram reels and longer running videos too. You can't get away with nothing but static picture posts on Instagram anymore. So kudos to Team Stallone. This is awesome. Now you can see from what Mr. Stallone is posting that he's not just showing himself just sitting around, posting random thoughts, that sort of thing. But you're seeing him as someone who is a fun-loving dude, who's very connected to his family and his fans. It helps keeps his personal brand very nice. That's something that you should do too as a brand leader, as an entrepreneur. Even if your business model is not that of an influencer, who cares? Today's buyer wants to support small business owners, and up to 70% of millennials will buy from a business owner who is transparent, vulnerable, and overall someone that they feel they've gotten to know, like, and trust. Something I call the KLT factor. So I love how Mr. Stallone shows off his fun, approachable side, and he's also super great about supporting others too, including his daughter's podcast, Unwaxed, where he tags or mentions his kid's show, and he's warming up his followers over a number of days' time to the concept that he'll be on their show, that they should make sure to listen to it, which is great. Too many entrepreneurs post like once about something important, whether it's a collab or a sale or whatever, and that's that. It's typically not enough to do a one and done routine. People need reminders to show up for anything from an interview to a sale. It's also super smart of Mr. Stallone to tag other accounts, which you should do too, whenever it makes sense to do so, as long as you're accurate and not otherwise being spammy in your approach. When you tag or mention other accounts on Instagram, that can really be a great form of networking for you as an entrepreneur who's also a savvy content creator too. And just look at Mr. Stallone posting about his past, his childhood, and not just his family otherwise, but also he posts about his fans whom he deeply respects and appreciates. You should definitely do this with some of your content too. Convey to your content consumer that you love what you do and you love who you do it for, and that you appreciate them. When you show that you care, today's consumer is more likely to become part of your brand-based revolution. It's also awesome that Mr. Stallone posts at least one piece of Instagram story content to his account per day, if not more. Around 85% to 90% of all Instagrammers consume 90% or better of the Instagram story content of those they follow, including businesses and brands. So make sure you post at least one piece of Instagram story content to your account too, just like good old Rocky does. I also like that he's got sponsorships, nice brand deals, just like you think he should on Instagram. And you're like, who cares, Stacey? I can't get a brand deal. The heck you can't. Just wait until we get to the takeaway, okay? You're gonna like what you hear. But now, sadly, we're on to the bad. Now, while Mr. Stallone doesn't seem to post on a daily basis, which is what today's entrepreneurs should be shooting for on Instagram, he is doing it every few days' time, pretty regularly, so I'm impressed by that. So we'll forgive him for not posting daily. After all, he's an iconoclast with over 14 million followers on his account because he's an icon. Therefore, for the very same reason, we'll also have to forgive him for having no freaking bio at all. That can work if you're a globally recognized movie star like Sylvester Stallone. Just you try that though, having a non-existent bio, so that your account, at least via its profile, isn't optimized for search on Instagram. And see what that does for you. Nothing. That's what it'll do. Nothing. You need to have a bio more like one of my friends and past coaching students has, like Jennifer Majors from Stitchworks. Just look at how detailed that bio is, how it's really less about her and more about her ideal customer and the keywords that they would likely be searching on in terms of their pain points. Jennifer's clearly got the solutions to satisfy their needs, and extra credit to Jennifer for having a link in that bio that will allow for her to capture leads onto her email list, where she's 3 times more likely to get successful sales conversions. Be sure to check out this account for a masterclass in terms of how a great bio and a great call to action to get people to click on that link works, which in Jennifer's case takes you to her email opt-in form and nowhere else. That brings us to the ugly. Oh, Sylvester Stallone. Man, you're awesome with all of the content that gives us a great look at your life, past, present, and future. But your Instagram link in bio stinks because it leads someone to another website that isn't for merch. It's for NFTs, and I don't even think that they launched yet. Not everything's unlocked yet, even if someone bought an NFT. You kind of wander around and maybe you feel like you'll get onto a waiting list. Look, whoever set up the link in bio for Mr. Stallone did him a disservice by having that link go to a full-blown website and not an email opt-in form, keeping it simple, just like Jennifer Majors of Stitchworks did. Why? Okay, so you click the link in bio if you're interested in the call to action. Here, there really isn't one, but you can get away with it because it's Sylvester Stallone and all. Then you go to this website. Maybe you're not even clear about what's on it, and it gives you like a host of things to click on and explore, which seems like a great idea until you consider the entrepreneurial maxim of the confused don't buy. When someone clicks on that link, it's got one job, and if you're doing things right, it's all about capturing a lead onto an email list in exchange for a freebie, download, a coupon, a webinar, or some sort of ethical email opt-in bribe, as they call it, for someone to get in exchange for signing up on your email list. So if I wanted to get on an email list for, let's say, my favorite actor in the world, Sylvester Stallone, and I'm sent somewhere to dig around for how to get on, and or I'm not interested in NFTs right now, I might get confused or distracted and overwhelmed, and whoops, there went any potential sale, right? Sale of an NFT or sale of tangible merch like hats and shirts and stuff. Capture the lead, and then you can market and sell to that lead all day long. Don't capture the lead, and at best 25% of people will follow you and or buy from you if the mood strikes them. Consider this too, only 2% of people visiting a website for the first time will buy from that site, even if it's a site connected to the great Sylvester Stallone. I kid you not. So capture that lead onto an email list, because approximately 75% of your monthly sales comes from that list. So what's the takeaway for you? Here it is. The takeaway. Make sure you have a detailed bio that's keyword rich so your account is pulled up in search more often. Make sure that link in bio is to an email opt-in form so you can increase your sales over time, because 60% of people who get on an email list actively want to be sold to. And you're 3 times more likely to get a sale from your list as opposed to everyone else floating around out there on Instagram, on the internet, wherever. That's the truth. You're an entrepreneur. You need to make money. Mix up those content types, just like Mr. Stallone does, and let people see into your life so that they get to know, like, and trust you enough. And yes, once you get to anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 followers on Instagram, you can begin scoring sponsorships, because you're a micro-influencer at that point. You don't have to be a famous movie star with millions of followers to start landing sponsorships. Just make sure that the potential sponsors you approach have offerings that would work for your ideal customer, and obviously you want to approach sponsors whose offerings are not competitive with your own offerings, but are merely complementary at best. It works. So, if you want more help in terms of distinguishing yourself from the crowd and increasing your trustworthiness in the eyes of your niche, I actually have a freebie for you to pick up called 10 Reasons Why You're Viewed as a Fake Guru and How to Gain Credibility and Customers Instead. And you can pick it up at don'tbeafakeguru.com. The link for you to score that freebie guide is in the show notes or the description down below. There you have it. You now have my thoughts when it comes to this. Content coach reacting to Sylvester Stallone and his Instagram account. Need more help with your content marketing strategies? Be sure to check out these 2 awesome videos too. Then they'll help.